Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are good and having a blessed Friday. My name is Binish Malik and I welcome you to the online class of history. Okay students, so let's take a quick review of the last lesson. Okay Hadi, can you tell me what we were doing last time? Yes, we were doing cabinet mission. So what was cabinet mission? How would you define anyone? What is cabinet mission? Yes, Abdullah. Yes. So, in simple words, cabinet mission is a group of 3 people, and these 3 people are highly designated members of the British Parliament. These 3 people came to the subcontinent for what purpose? Yes, boys and girls, for what purpose did the cabinet mission came to subcontinent? Yes, very good. So, the cabinet mission comprised of 3 members. Number 1, A.V. Alexander. Number 2, Sir Stafford Cripps. And number 3, Patrick Lawrence. These 3 people came to the subcontinent with a proposal. The proposal comprised of various clauses. Number 1, according to the cabinet mission, all the provinces of subcontinent will be divided into 3 major groups. Number 1, that was also called Group A. It comprised of all Hindu majority areas. Group B comprised of Western Muslim majority areas, and Group C comprised of Eastern Muslim majority areas. Let me give you additional information over here. Is that the Group A is the present India, Group B is present Pakistan, and Group C is presently Bangladesh. Okay, so the foundation of the division of East Pakistan and West Pakistan was laid in 1946 when the cabinet mission arrived at subcontinent. So, in a nutshell, let me tell you that the cabinet mission was a group of 3 people came with a proposal. Proposal number 1, the categorization of all the provinces of the subcontinent, and point number 2, they told that if any province wanted to make the government, they will have this freedom only after 10 years after the implementation of cabinet mission. Means that the cabinet mission occurred in 1946. So in 1956, any province will have the authority to make independent government after 10 years. So after 10 years, any province, either it be a Hindu majority province or it may be a Muslim majority province, will have the liberty to make independent state, but only after 10 years. Okay. And clause number 3. Number 3 was that if any party want to form the government, any successful party that had won the election wanted to make the government, either it be a government, independent government, or the coalition government. Okay, so any party can make the government only if it agrees with all the clauses of the cabinet mission. Okay, so these were the 3 proposals of the cabinet mission. Okay, so after the cabinet mission, a lot of political unrest between the political parties continued. For example, the Muslim League was very anxious about the categorization of the provinces. They had the question that how did you divide the provinces? Because in the Group A, where we are saying that it's the Hindu majority areas, there were a number of Muslim majority areas of the Punjab as well, where the Christian community that was regarded as a minority was there, and the Christian majority always opted to become a part of the Pakistan. Okay, so the categorization of the provinces raised several questions. There was no criteria that what about the minorities? Had anyone asked about the will of the minorities, that where they wanted to what they wanted to become the part of? So the will of the minorities remained remained unquestioned in a number of ways. There were a number of areas like Gurdaspur at that time, which was a part of the Group A at that time. It contained Muslim majority areas, but still it was not a part of Group B. So there were a number of question marks that the British government and the Congress were unable to answer, and the Muslim League was very anxious about that. But the cabinet mission said that if you wanted to make the government in the subcontinent, you have to agree with all the clauses of the cabinet mission. This created a lot of political unrest, and finally both the parties, Muslim League and the Congress, agreed, and they finally said that we agree with all the clauses and we will be making the government because we will accept all the clauses. So students, this was about the last lesson. Okay, now just make a mind map that the cabinet mission came in 1946, and now we are moving towards 3rd June Plan 1947. Okay, now what happened? Now at that time in 1947, the Prime Minister of the Britain was Lord Attlee. Lord Attlee has seen a lot of political unrest, and he had made the promise with the people of the subcontinent that we will be transferring the power to the leaders of the subcontinent by 1948 peacefully. Okay, so Lord Attlee had made this promise that we will be peacefully transferring all the powers to the people of the subcontinent, obviously the political leaders. But he was not able to see any progress in the country. He had tried various ways in the form of the cabinet mission, in the form of the Shimla conference. He had tried various ways, but unfortunately nothing worked out. Okay, so finally he had decided to change the Viceroy of the India. He said that he thought that might be Lord Wavell was not able to solve the problem, so he changed the Viceroy of India and appointed the new Viceroy, and that was the last Viceroy of the India. And he was, yes students, we have discussed about the last Viceroy earlier as well. So who is the last Viceroy of the India? Yes, Lord Mountbatten. So Lord Mountbatten was appointed as the last Viceroy of the India in place of the Lord Wavell, and the British Prime Minister at that time, who was Lord Attlee. Lord Attlee removed Lord Wavell and instead appointed Lord Mountbatten in order to solve all the problems of the subcontinent and to peacefully hand over the powers to the leaders of the political parties. So now, Lord Mountbatten, after arriving into the subcontinent, realized that our effort to keep the subcontinent united is not fruitful at all. It's just a waste of time. We have been trying since past 10 years to keep the Indian subcontinent united, but the political parties, that is Congress and Muslim League, represent two majorities in the subcontinent, that is Muslims and the Hindus, and the clash between them can never make the subcontinent a peaceful place. So Lord Mountbatten at first hand realized that it is not possible to maintain the Indian nationalism. He found out the quest for the separation of the Indian subcontinent into two major states. So the moment he realized, he immediately reported it to the British Parliament that it is very immediate to divide both of these states. Mountbatten realized that there is an emergency to divide both the subcontinent and divide into two states, one for the Muslim majority and the other for the Hindu majority. So Lord Attlee approved the plan. Now the next task was to appoint a commission who could demarcate the properties, who could demarcate all the land territory. Okay, so this was the map. Okay, so students, the 3rd June Plan 1947 was basically a plan that the British government finally accepted that the Indian subcontinent needs to be divided into 2 states. Okay, but once the plan was accepted, now there were other hurdles as well. It was a success of the Muslim League and most importantly Jinnah to accept the Jinnah that finally now the British can recognize that we need an independent state where we can practice our religion and our culture. So now the British has accepted this, that we need an independent state, but it comes with a lot of other problems as well that emerged. The problems were regarding which areas will be included into which state. What about the Punjab and Bengal that contains Muslim majority as well as Hindu majority areas? What about the princely states? So there were a lot of questions raised that would be addressed in the 3rd June Plan 1947. And furthermore, as we will progress into the lesson, we will see that did the Boundary Commission that demarcated the territories was inclined towards Congress or Muslim League? We will see all that as well. So I hope you have understood the first section of the lesson. So first the cabinet mission came, then Lord Attlee decided that finally we have to divide the subcontinent, and now finally the division of the subcontinent has been accepted, and now what will happen next, we will see that. So this was about the first session. Now let's move to the 3rd June Plan. Okay students, so let's move towards the second part of the lesson that was about 3rd June Plan 1947. Yes, so who would like to tell me about 3rd June Plan? Yes boys? Yes, very good. So 3rd June Plan was about that how the boundaries of the 2 new countries will be demarcated, which areas will be included in which country and which areas will be included in the other countries. So that's a clear-cut fact that the Muslim majority areas will be the part of Pakistan and the Hindu majority areas will be the part of Bharat. Okay, that was clear-cut. But there were certain states like Punjab and Bengal. What about Punjab and Bengal? Punjab was a very big province having having Muslim 50% Muslim majority and 50% Indian majority. And in a similar way, same the case with the Bengal. And what about the minorities? What about the Christian community? Has anyone asked about the Christian community, what they wanted to be part of? So all of these questions will be addressed in the 3rd June Plan. So let's talk about 3rd June Plan. 3rd June Plan was basically a plan that was formulated under the leadership of the Lord Mountbatten, in which there were several points listed. Number 1, the India will now be ultimately divided into 2 independent states. Okay. Number 2, a boundary commission will be appointed in order to divide Bengal and Punjab. Okay. So a commission will be a group of people. Now they will be appointed by the Lord Mountbatten, and the boundary commission will divide Bengal and Punjab. These 2 are very big provinces having equal population of Muslim as well as in Hindus. Number 3, a referendum will be conducted in NWFP. The people of NWFP, Northwestern Frontier Province, will be asked that either you wanted to be a part of Pakistan or Bharat. Okay. And the other princely states will have the freedom to opt for either you want to be part of Pakistan or Bharat. So princely states are those smaller states that are ruled by a monarchy. So they have a system that after they have a monarchy, they have a families that have been for that particular area. So these are called the princely states. The princely states are ruled by monarchies. Okay, so the princely states will have the freedom either to choose India, Bharat or Pakistan. So these were the few proposals that were discussed in the third group plan. Number one, India will finally be divided into two independent states. A boundary commission will be appointed for the demarcation of the boundaries of the Punjab and Bengal, and a referendum will be carried out in NWFP, and princely states will be given the freedom. Okay, so one more thing that I would like to add is that a boundary commission will only be appointed if the people, if the communal groups in these two provinces will ask that they wanted to divide these provinces. If the communal groups will not ask for the division of these two provinces, then these two provinces will not get divided and these two provinces will become part of whichever state they wanted to be. And then let me tell you that in these provinces, Muslims and Hindus did ask that we wanted to go. The Muslims asked that we wanted to be part of the Pakistan, and Hindus did ask that we wanted to be part of Bharat. So these were the few important points of the third group plan 1947. So students, now we are very close towards the establishment of the Pakistan. Okay, and now finally it's the time that we in the next topic we will see that a Radcliffe Award will be announced. So let's see what is Radcliffe Award, what it's about. So till now a map has been made that now the subcontinent is going to be divided. So now let's move to the last section of the lesson. Okay students, so let's move to the last section of the lesson. So we have done we have learned in detail about the third June plan. Now in the third June plan we know that it was decided that the two independent states will be formed, and that if the communal groups wanted, then the two provinces will be demarcated, that is Punjab and Bengal, and that in the NWFP referendum will be carried out. Okay, so now let's talk about the Radcliffe Award. Okay students, now for the demarcation of the two largest provinces of the subcontinent, that is Punjab and Bengal, a commission was formed. A panel of the people, a commission was appointed. The commission was appointed with the task of dividing the two biggest provinces, that is Punjab and Bengal. Now, I wanted to make you clear that the Radcliffe Award is basically a decision. We have given the name of the Radcliffe Award to this decision. So the decision is actually about demarcating the boundaries of Punjab and Bengal. So Radcliffe Award was actually a decision that was made by the commission under the chairmanship of Sir Cyril Radcliffe. So Lord Mountbatten along with the Congress, they two were actually the one who were deciding the boundary of the two provinces. So students, we are talking about the Radcliffe Award. Radcliffe Award is basically a decision. Whose decision? The decision of the commission decision, and this commission was appointed in order to demarcate the boundaries of Punjab and Bengal. Okay, since this commission was under the chairmanship of Sir Cyril Radcliffe, that's why it is given the name of Radcliffe Award. So Radcliffe Award is basically the commission's decision regarding the demarcation of the provinces of the Punjab and Bengal, like which areas of the Punjab will be included, will be the part of Pakistan, and which areas of the Punjab will be the part of the Bharat. In a similar way, what will happen with the Bengal? Students, I hope you know that when the two not at all possible, and this was done intentionally to weaken the link between both the parts, and it was the plan of the Indians that in the future ultimately East Pakistan will be separated. So they were very jealous. They don't wanted to empower Muslims, and even after the independence they kept on cutting our roots. Okay, so coming back to the topic, so Radcliffe Award was the decision of the commission about the division of the two provinces, that is Punjab and Bengal. So who was the chairperson of the commission? It was Sir Cyril Radcliffe. Okay, great. Then what was the total area of the subcontinent at that time? The total area of the subcontinent at that time was 17,500 square miles. This whole mass of the land was supposed to be divided into two states. And what was the total population of the people at that time? 88 million people. Now such a big mass of the land was going to be demarcated by the Boundary Commission, and particularly Punjab and Bengal will be now demarcated under the Sir Cyril Radcliffe. Okay, now students, heartbrokenly I want to tell you that the British government, the Radcliffe Award, Lord Mountbatten, all of them were always inclined towards the Indians. So what happened? They gave very important areas of Muslim majority to Hindus. One of them was Gurdaspur. Gurdaspur undoubtedly containing Muslim majority areas. It was a Muslim majority areas and contained significant Muslim population. What Gurdaspur was given to India so that they would have easy access to Kashmir, and they had the easy access to Kashmir, and they attacked Kashmir whenever they felt the convenience. And this is how these issues are yet not solved. So we can see that the Pakistan was divided into two parts that were geographically apart from each other. That was their trick, so that in the future they could separate East Pakistan from us. Secondly, they took Gurdaspur from us so that they could have access to Kashmir. And thirdly, all the industries, powerful industrial areas like all the powerful industrial areas were given to India, and it was committed that we will give you in equal money equivalent to all those industrial areas to Pakistan, but it was also not done. So all these things happened, and all these things further weakened Pakistan economically. So this was all about what was happening in the final stages of partition, and this is really heartbroken that Boundary Commission divided Pakistan in such a way. It's clear discrimination. Okay, they took the Muslim majority areas from us and gave it to Bharat, and the kind of financially and economically strengthening. They didn't strengthen us at all, and that's really heartbroken. And the consequences of all these factors we have faced in the later years after the independence, we have seen the various consequences of these things in the form of the wars that later happened with India. So class, this was all about the Radcliffe Award, and now in the next lesson we will be going through the establishment of the Pakistan. It's your homework to study in detail the establishment of Pakistan. You have to study under which act Pakistan got the independence, and who was the viceroy at that time, who gave the powers, who transferred the power to Jinnah, and what was all the scene. I would recommend you to watch a lot of videos regarding the establishment of Pakistan in the final stage, and I hope you have understood all the things. If not, we can discuss it in the physical lesson, and till then, take care. Have a good weekend ahead.